bricks. I just want the cheese. Muscle around on me. Swiss all over me. Drip like cheddar cheese. Kick it like Japanese. I speak Guapanese. I speak Guapanese. I speak Guapanese. I speak Guapanese.
Everybody, welcome to the After Party Podcast. We got a special episode today. Introduce yourself as far as you know.
Guys, I'm Talib. I'm tired. She got me worn out already.
Yeah, we was doing some warm-ups before we started this, so we out of breath. And for our guest today, we have Miss Nina, the yoga instructor and health coach of Nina's Yoga and Health Wellness. How are you doing, Nina?
Awesome. I'm not out of breath.
It's just us.
We're doing tricks.
It's just the ones that are out of shape. So we always start off our after party interviews with who is the guest. So who is Nina?
I bring yoga to this community where there is no yoga here. So this is a very open market. And so I feel that I'm bringing that awareness to this community, which is so cool, to people who've never done yoga before. And also as a health coach, I'm helping people be more aware of what they're eating and why they're eating it and how to replace things with other things that still taste good and are affordable. So that's basically what I bring and who I feel I am through this whole venture. So.
Absolutely. So how did you initially get started with yoga?
Oh, I was a competitive gymnast for 20 years.
Really?
And so I did yoga as a child, and it would help me to perform and help my body to stay healthy. And so as I was a practicing yogi all my life, I decided that I was in corporate America for like a long time. I decided to leave corporate America and start helping people rather than working for the man.
Was that transition hard for you, or was it more something that was like a no-brainer, like, oh, I'm done with this?
No, no-brainer. Yeah, when I was ready to leave, I just left. And it's been great ever since. I have such a community of wonderful people here, and people come here and spill their guts, like instead of sitting at a bar spilling their guts, they're just spilling their guts on the mat and growing as a person. So that's really fulfilling. And yoga is such a great thing. It's a philosophy, by the way, not a religion. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of misconception out there that yoga is a particular religion. It is a venue to worship. Mm-hmm. Anybody can worship through yoga, but you could be a Catholic or a Hindu or a Christian or anything. You could be an atheist, really, and still do yoga. You don't have to be a certain nationality to practice yoga or a certain religion or...
So they think like what type of religion they try to say yoga is affiliated with? Like?
I mean, Hinduism, they it's so ancient, and they do use it for that deep meditation. So it brings you into a place of quietness where you can hear the voice of the divine, which is a very old version of yoga called Bhakti Yoga. Mm-hmm. And it is worship of the divine. But not everyone believes in the Christian world. Mm-hmm. So you have so many different ways of worship, and everybody has a way to go deeper into meditation. So yoga is a great venue for that. But it isn't particularly a religion. It is not a religion, actually. It's just a philosophy.
So do you teach meditation?
I do. And I actually do teach Bhakti Yoga.
What is that?
It is worship of the divine.
Mm-hmm.
And we pray to God, and then we move and breathe and worship God in our movement.
Oh, I think that's awesome.
It is amazing, but it isn't for everyone, and you would want to know what you're coming into. Like, I wouldn't have somebody come in that wasn't ready for that and be unaware of that. They would know what they're coming into, and then they can fully engage in that. Otherwise, we have complete and total neutral yoga, which is just the postures, which I guess we're going to go into later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as far as the meditation in yoga, do those go hand in hand? Like, if you come to a yoga class, do you guys start off meditating, or is that a completely different class?
We start off by breathing, so we call it connecting to our breath, or just being more aware of the breath. I mean, we breathe, that's how we live. But we basically hyperventilate as a nation. So 1 second in, 1 second out. And I encourage 5 to 6 counts in, holding 1 count at the top, and then the same exhale.
So how do we do that?
So you would breathe in through your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Fully exhaling, emptying your lungs. And when you breathe in so you can feel the back expand, your rib cage and your back expand, and then you hold, and then you exhale all of the breath out, and you detoxify when you exhale. Our bodies are so wonderfully made. When we breathe in, we feed our blood, and when we exhale, we detoxify. So it's also a involuntary way of releasing toxins in our body and tension. So whether you even intentionally mean to release, it is releasing, which is such a cool thing that God made our bodies to do. But imagine how much better it is when you intentionally do it.
Yeah.
You know, like the difference between having good intentions and intentionally doing something. You know, so like you're intentionally exhaling, intentionally quieting your mind, and then continuing that connection between your breath and your movement. You just come to this state of meditation that brings awareness to you in other ways. Like maybe that I'm being more angry in life, or maybe I'm not being as forgiving, or, you know, because when you're quiet and all that mind chatter stops, you become aware of all these things in your life that maybe you've been hearing people tell you, but you didn't have that self-realization. Then you're just like, you have this moment of, I can do this. You're filled with grace, you're filled with gratitude. It really happens. People cry in yoga.
So is that how it's beneficial to people? Like, how is yoga beneficial to like people's health?
To people's health, well, you know, disease is dis-ease. So
I've never heard that.
yeah, it's dis-ease. So when you don't have ease in your life, you get disease. So when you are more at ease, you're releasing toxins, you're releasing stress. You know, stress ages you. So if you think about that, taking 1 hour a day, even if you meditate at home, 1 hour a day, you grow gray matter in your brain when you meditate, which is the healthy matter that helps your brain to stay functioning and smart. So, I mean, I could go on, but I mean, there's so many ways. Like, even just the simple form of meditation, quieting that mind and becoming more peaceful. Maybe your spouse or your friends or your children, they benefit from that.
Yeah, but say I tried meditating for a while. I did it for maybe like 2 weeks strong. And then, like, I did feel better, but I think I just got out of the habit of it. It was just like...
Did you try going too much time? Like,
yeah, what you about to
I think so, because I think I started off at like 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere around, I can't remember the exact one. It was maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. And I would do it every day, but then it would be days where I wouldn't set my alarm to get up to have enough time to have like 20 minutes.
Meditate while you're still laying down asleep with your eyes completely shut before you even tell yourself you're awake. Like you're laying on your pillow, you know how you start to stir and you're like, oh, that alarm just went off. That can begin your meditation right then and there. Just like, good morning, God, or, you know, good morning, self, whatever you need to be in that moment, and then just start to quiet and breathe.
Yeah, see, I thought like to meditate, you just had to like
sleep.
you had to like go into a certain space. That's what I would do. I would just go in my living room and I would sit down, turn everything off. Then I would sit there with my legs crossed and I would just just to hum to myself.
I like it, yeah.
So that's what I did. So that's why I just was under the impression that that's what you had to do every time. I didn't really think that I could have just laid in my bed and just. Nah, it was just like you're supposed to like and just pay attention to that.
Yeah, and just listening to the hum. Some people meditate to like the sound of water. Some people meditate to, pretty rare that you would have like word music playing just because your mind could drift to like what the song means to you. Yeah. So a lot of times maybe piano music or silence is what I prefer.
He like humming to Kirk Franklin.
I love Kirk Franklin.
I don't know that. I'm like, okay. Whatever works for you. Hey, whatever works for you. I think it is truly whatever works for you. I tried doing it to music and to sounds of nature at first, but my mind, I'm really probably, you know, a little bit hyper, you know. And so for me, I had to have total silence so that I could come to that quiet place. Very hard for me to meditate for more than 10 minutes. Very hard.
So does yoga like help with energy? I mean, not energy, my bad. Injuries. Like, does it like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can get injuries from yoga.
Okay.
So you can get something funny called yoga butt.
Yoga butt?
It's the tear between your hamstring and your glute. It's actually a real thing. You can look it up. It's a common injury in yoga. You can get shoulder injuries, lower back injuries. You have to be really careful and have an instructor that's willing to show you what works for your structure. You know, your skeleton and your body is, people have long arms, short legs, long legs, short, you know, every posture doesn't work for every person. So that's why you'll also hear when you go to class, you know, a lot of teachers will talk about your journey, your mat, you know, because it is you, what takes you to meditation, what brings you into a posture, what benefits you in a posture may not be what benefits me. You know, so it's really individual. But yes, can you prevent injury? I think that was your question. Oh my gosh, yes. You know, just like what I was talking about with particularly men. I mean, I know women squat and lift and do all that too, but predominantly I get men that come in here that are squatting heavy weight, doing deadlifts, and their groin and their hamstring and glute isn't strong enough to handle their muscles in their body. Their quads are strong enough, but they've got these little micro muscles and tendons that aren't strong enough. And so that's where they're tearing and hurting. So I teach them in these postures how to grow stamina in those smaller muscles. And they're able to do more.
I never knew that. Like, I always thought yoga was something to help you, like, limber up, like, get loose. Like, I never knew that it helped strengthen muscles, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I
muscles will get bad strong, like, be good strong.
So I never knew, like that it would help me probably with my groin muscles or my hip flexors and stuff like that. I just always thought it's gonna help loosen me up.
I mean, it helps loosen you up, but you know when you stretch your muscle, it tears a little bit. So when it tears, you come in, you stretch, and you release lactic acid, and it heals longer. So when you don't stretch, that muscle's gonna heal back the way it was, or even shorter maybe. So you're really kind of counterproductive there. So whenever you lift, whenever you work that muscle, you should always stretch it out gently, mindfully, but yeah, you should always work it out.
I feel like a big misconception of yoga is that people feel you have to already be flexible to start yoga.
Oh, rarely is somebody already flexible when they start yoga. Usually people are like, you know, getting to that foot is a process.
I got a goal. I got a personal goal. When I was an athlete, and I still got this goal, I could like when I do my hamstring stretch, like just going straight there, I could put my toes, I could touch my feet. I could even probably do like this. But I can't put my palms on the ground.
Right.
So like, what can I do to help me do that? Like, I know a couple of people, like my friend, he want to be able to put his palms on the ground just like me, and he want to be able to dunk. Like, he want to be able to jump. Like, can yoga help out with stuff like that? I know being limber could help you expand with your speed, even jumping.
You gotta strengthen all these muscles.
Oh, really?
In the front of your leg, so that when you're pushing off the ball of your foot, those muscles are stronger and they can take you higher.
Right. So like, what can I do personally to help me?
To reach the ground, you gotta pull your belly in and lift your hips. It's not about your hamstring. So when you put your hands down, you can have your knees bent at first, right? And then just start to lift your hips and pull your belly in. So it's that pulling in here that will make your upper body tip over. So if you just try that right now. Lift your hips. Lift your hips. Just put your hands down first. So this is the goal, right? The goal is the hands on the ground, right? So then just come up, knees bent. Right?
Hands on the ground, man.
That's your goal. So you're looking at your goal. I want my hands to stay there. So start to lift your hips. Now tuck your belly in. Tuck your belly in. Now take your chin to your chest. Okay, so you got there just by doing one simple move.
So yeah, I mean, I could do this easy. I even like try to put my hands underneath here so I could like stretch it out more.
But you have 4 inches of wasted space right here because you're not pulling the belly in and tucking your chin down.
Like, I just can't.
You got 4 inches of wasted space.
You gotta start at the goal. And then go to where you need to go.
Already.
Like not today. It's a slow process. You can also sit in the floor, stretch like Dandasana, which is just a seated forward fold. You can sit in those postures and try to breathe. Now that's where breathing can come in. So when you exhale, that's the surrender. You're too far.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got you.
Yeah, you're also a camera coach.
Right. Health coach, camera coach.
There you go.
So yeah, if you sit on the ground in just a seated forward fold, you can start to meditate, and during that meditation you can exhale and feel your muscles surrender and soften, and that's where you're going to find growth. So when your goal is to get those feet and hands on the surface of the ground, right? So when you're sitting on the floor, you tell yourself that you're going to do a 10-minute or a 5-minute meditation on lengthening your hamstring and glute connections, like right where that glute, your ham connect. Those are big muscles. You got to get, they're stubborn. They're going to hang on. So you tell them, I'm the boss, and feel them soften. Clench your muscle, like clench your bicep or something, and then soften. That's all the process, the same thing on any other muscle in your body. So you can tell it to let go. And these muscles are big, and they're hard to make do it, but you can make them do it. We'll do a posture later called pigeon. It's half pigeon, and it's for your girlfriend.
All right.
And it will help, but you'll see when you're sitting in that posture, I'll make you go through like the release, the surrender, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. And if you sit in forward fold, maybe a week, meditate on that hamstring. Visualize that hamstring. You've all seen a picture of the muscle of the body without the skin. You see the muscles? So you can picture that muscle, and you're just going to soften it as you exhale. In your mind, because your body will listen, but your mind has to be in control of that. tell it to soften, and you will be forward folds. And I mean, people come to me, say they want to reach the ground, and they're doing like this. You are all the way down, so you know you're 99% of the battle, you know, already done. So
the 1% is just mental.
It is actually, and breathing.
Tell that to my hamster.
And tomorrow when you're like, oh, I really try to do that in front of the camera.
So you're also a health coach, as we said. So what is your diet like?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question. I eat primarily raw, and I do eat meat. Yeah, I tried to be a vegetarian, but it didn't work for me. I started to get dark circles in my eyes, and I needed the iron, and so now I'm just really picky about what I eat.
Yeah.
So like I rarely eat chicken, just because, you know, there's only one place I know where they're coming from. So like I'll eat chicken very rarely. I eat lots of fish. I start my day off with Superfood Green and Green Vibrance with some moringa leaf in it, which is just a shake of a lot of super greens. And then lunch, I eat usually quinoa, like a huge quinoa salad. I'll mix, you know, fresh vegetables in a big bowl of quinoa and feta cheese, which, you know, feta's so fatty, but I eat it. Everybody has their cheat. And then dinner time, you know, I don't know, I'll eat whatever. I have a 17-year-old still at home, so, you know, I can't get too crazy on him, you know, so he still wants real food. So sometimes we'll do like some pasta or something like that. But I usually do sprouted. I don't eat bread ever. Ever. But I eat sprouted grain, flour, and Ezekiel bread has sprouted grain stuff, which is so good for you. It's alive.
Yeah.
It's alive instead of like made into flour.
And what was that called again? I'm sorry.
It's Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Yeah. It's in the freezer section. No preservatives.
Do you do you make up meal plans and stuff like that? Like, are you a nutritionist?
I'm not a nutritionist.
Okay.
There's a big difference. I'm a life coach or a health coach. So I believe in the primary foods, which is not just about what you're putting in your mouth, but what you're putting in your life. You know, your relationships, your worship, your work life. Also what you eat, and then your exercise. So it's all a well-rounded approach to your lifestyle. Yeah, it's a lot about what you eat, but it's also about what you're putting in your mind and your heart too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, so how big is like putting in different type of foods into your body? Like, I heard that, I think I was watching a video when I was in health, and they were saying, like, you know, eating animals and stuff, like they go through like trauma, being traumatized and stuff like that, like pigs and all that. When they go through being slaughtered, like they're going through being traumatized and scared and fear and all that, and then you put that in your body.
Straight in.
Yeah, and then it's like you're eating like.
You just made my hair stand up. It's so true, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that energy, it comes into you, and you know, yeah, you can get rid of it, but why put it in there?
Right.
You know, I don't want the animal to go through it, but we can't change everything. You know, we're trying to change it, but you can't change everything overnight. So what you can control is what you put in. And by choosing free range or choosing, and I'm not being an advocate for that, so please don't, you know, take that, anybody listening. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying this is what I choose for me, and it's what I recommend to people, is to try not to have that energy coming into their body, because it's really real.
So is there any animals that you don't eat, or I know you said chicken and raw fish?
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat red meat. That's just by choice, because I don't digest it. So I believe in bio-individuality, which means that my body is very different from yours. What's perfect for me may be poison to you.
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't say, oh man, you need to be vegan, or you know, you gotta stop eating that. Well, that would be the most foolish thing for me to say, because your body may need that.
Yeah.
So I look at a whole health history about like where you come from, what is your history, what is your family history, what works in your body, like what is your blood type. I look at all of that before I would make any recommendation about what food should go in your body.
So that's how that works. So if someone wanted to come to you and they wanted you to be their health coach, aside from the yoga, are those the things that you would take into consideration, or how does that?
Well, the
I
first
guess,
thing
evaluation
they do,
work?
Yeah, they do a health, health evaluation, and it's totally free, because it's educational for them and for me. So they get to take it with them, fill this out. It's like 5 pages long. It's very serious start of the process, and it's everything soup to nuts about their life. And that allows me to start doing research into what would work best for them. Sometimes we do elimination, like, okay, you're not going to do dairy for 2 weeks. Let's see what that does to you. And maybe you start to feel like you need it. maybe you need to have a little bit of dairy in your diet, or let's eliminate soy, or let's put soy in your diet and take something else out. And so we go through, it's a 6-month program. You can't change anything overnight. And I don't sell information. Information is free. You can get it anywhere, the internet, these interviews, you know, information is everywhere. What I do is transition. I help the person through that transition of changing their lives into what we recommend and research together, find out what works for their body, and then I'm there for them as their partner through that whole transition.
That's dope. That's really dope. Really big misconception of yoga is, that we're trying to kill is that they think that only women do yoga.
Oh, no.
So I wanted you to explain to them like what the ratios are and what classes are.
Well, yeah, so now I'm going to support that because like way more women do come to yoga, but
there are men.
I mean, I would say 1/3.
Yeah.
1/3 to 2/3. 1/3 of my yogis are men, and the bigger the studio, the bigger the yoga family, the more men you're going to have. So I just went over to Body Alive, one of my favorite places to practice, and there was probably 15 guys in the class, you know, but then there was like 40 people, you know, so I've got maybe in a class of 20, maybe 3 or 4 of them are guys, and once guys start coming to yoga, they don't quit.
Yeah.
Because they find something that they didn't have before.
So like, what's it like? I know people. I think more men like hot yoga.
What is the difference?
Because you sweat.
Yeah.
What
Can I
is the
say you
difference?
such balls?
Yeah,
Can I say that? Can I say that?
You can say whatever you want.
I was gonna get to medical marijuana on you real quick, like help. You know what I'm saying?
It will get it out of you. It'll get it out of you.
You got a drug test coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's come to hot yoga. So you see these infrared? That's infrared. They're not regular heaters. So they heat you from the inside out. We don't add humidity. So like we get it to about 105 in here, and you need a towel. You need a towel under you. You need a towel around you. It will immediately. You will start like it's crazy.
So y'all do hot yoga in here too?
Oh yeah, primarily hot yoga. Yeah.
So is that the only difference between yoga, regular yoga and hot yoga? Is that just the heat is on, or is it different postures or poses?
I mean, the breathing is different. In regular yoga, you can practice a Ujjayi breath, which is a closed mouth breath. You breathe through your nose, and you constrict your throat. So it's like.
I think I need that one.
That's no,
I feel like
not in
I'm
the hot
growling at
studio. That's a lion's breath. We can do that later. But no, when you do Ujjayi breath, you will get hot very fast.
Oh, really?
So you want to open your. So in hot studios, you exhale with an open mouth. That's a cooling breath. You may use a few Ujjayi breaths to start the practice just to get everybody really warmed up. But usually the room is already hot. When you walk in here, you're like, I don't need any heated breath. But so you use a different breath in hot yoga. You stretch much deeper in hot yoga, so you have to be very careful that you don't go beyond what you think. You have to really use some logic in it. Like you would feel like you will get your hands on the floor and your legs straight most immediately. But it may not be the right time for you to do that. So you'd have to just be mindful of that. Because when you go out of here, you'll be very sore. But the heat would allow your muscles to really grow.
So like, how long is a class? Like, is it like
1 hour. So we start out with, I don't do much warm up because I'm kind of mean. Not mean, but I'm just a little more take the athletic approach because I was an athlete. So we have instructors that are very gentle and take 15 minutes and warm up. But
that's not you.
That's not me.
Yeah, right.
And I do like maybe 3 minutes of warm up, and you're on your feet. You're going. We stay on our feet for 45 minutes, and then the last part of the class we go down and we do what's called the final posture or corpse pose, which is Savasana in Sanskrit. And it's just like you just take it all out, let it all out. And I usually put a towel on your forehead and tell you to smile and tell yourself good job. That moment in Savasana, the work isn't done when you lay down. Like you have so much work to do in that posture, that final posture of just being positive, telling yourself good job, and just reflecting maybe on the original intentions you set on the breath. Because in the beginning you connect with your breath, you quiet your mind, you set your intentions like, where am I going to go with this practice? Am I going to find my edge? Am I going to just try and find length in my posture? Am I going to try to find rhythm with my breath and my movement? What is my intention going to be? Maybe it's just to be more gentle. Just with everything I do, I'm going to step lighter. I'm going to, just be more graceful. Like some people have trouble with that. So whatever your intention is, you reflect back on that, and no matter what, you tell yourself good job, and you just relax. and then you leave. Some people don't want to leave. Like, when's the next class?
Really? So how would a routine with you go? Like how would, like if I was to come here, like what am I expecting to get from Nina? Like in a class?
My classes consist of a very good stretch, a very good upper body, lower body workout. You will get abdominals because I'm a big advocate of having a strong core. So we do, abs, we do them.
This goes for all the people with the beer guts.
Yeah, everybody that
All
said
you
they
beer
want
guts, come to my class.
Tell all the cheeseburger built people.
The cheeseburger what?
Cheeseburger built.
Cheeseburger built people.
Yeah.
You come and get your abs done.
Yeah.
So does yoga also help with weight loss? I know you said abs.
Actually, that's a very good question. That's probably one of the best ones, other than that thing about the energy with the animals. So when you work out on a treadmill and you're going, you're releasing cortisol, you're in fight or flight, man, you're just burn. You're gonna burn glucose, which will not turn into fat. You're not gonna gain any more fat. But when you're working out in a restive state, you're not releasing cortisol, and you are actually burning fat off the muscle. So you are becoming smaller on a cellular level. And so a lot of people really love yoga for that reason, is that they're actually not trying to not gain more fat, they want to lose the fat they have. So they want the fat on top of the muscle to become smaller. And so like we have wrestlers that come here, we have dancers that come, a lot of people that just want to trim down and do it in a quick way. I mean quick, like weeks, not hours.
Yeah, not like a session and 10 pounds is gone.
Exactly.
So is yoga like, do you recommend like people to do it like every day of the week, 5 days a week, 3 days a week? I mean, like, do you get worn out doing?
I think daily, but I'm kind of committed to it.
Okay,
but,
I understand.
I practice daily. I practice at home sometimes. I practice at other studios, just becoming a student again. And then I practice a little bit in my classes with my students. And just it's a daily thing for me. I can't live without it.
So you out here like Master Splinter for real? Like you're a real like sensei? Like
I don't know.
You're like sensei for real? Like I'm just saying, like you're a master that became a student again. Look, check it out.
She just toned you out, dog.
Longer.
Let's try this pose again. Let's try it again. Let's try it again for the newbie. I think I can.
There he goes.
That boy love being out of the camera.
So flex your foot in. Pull your foot in.
Let me see.
That helps to engage your core.
You gotta spread your toes, but her toes are spreaded.
Yeah, you do.
My core is
notice
engaged.
You're very observant.
I'm very.
Sit up tall.
My core is engaged.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
I'm feeling it.
I couldn't do this.
Both of you guys.
I couldn't do that 20 minutes ago. I can't do that 20 minutes ago. So I want you to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. How can they get in touch with some classes? And
so
where
you're
to go
gonna load
to?
the name of my website is bewell.today.
Hey.
So that's fun. It's be like Bumblebee. So it's bewell.today, and it's all there. Health coaching, doTERRA oils. I'm really into essential oils, and then of course our studio schedule. Not expensive to come to class. It's like $10.
Yeah.
Really?
And you can even get it cheaper than that if you buy more than one. So I make it affordable. And I don't know.
Can somebody like buy like a yearly package? Like
Not here, but I think some studios sell you passes.
No,
Here I
we
have
want
a
them to come
monthly.
Here, we want them to come here.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
is
So
the address here?
Yeah, you got
500 Kolb Drive.
Kolb Drive. That's right by Cincinnati Mills.
That's Kolb with a K.
K. Yep. Kolb
Kolb with a K.
Drive. Right next door to Panera.
Right next door to Panera.
Right behind the Bob Evans.
And go to Corral for the cheeseburger built people.
Now we don't want them to
The
go to
cheeseburger built people need to come here and work on their abs, and then they can go have a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I think this was total fun. I enjoyed it, Nina. Now we're about to get into some postures.
Okay.
But thank you, Nina. We appreciate it.
Yeah, most definitely.
You're welcome.
Let's do some postures. I'm ready.
And then take it back down. We'll go through what is called Chaturanga Dandasana. So come to your plank. You can keep that block there. I like to do that. Do you ever do that with the block? So that they don't lower their chest too far. So you're gonna come down, the elbows just reach the ribs. Yeah. Then turn your feet over to the tops of your feet. Hold your plank, and then upward. Facing dog, you lift your shoulders. Now lift your hips. Turn your feet back over, down, and facing dog. Nice, you guys. We're gonna do the other side really quick. Warrior one. Turn that back foot out. Lift your arms. Create space in those shoulders. Push over the knee over that front foot. Really powerfully out. Yeah, bring that back foot in so you put the heel down. Yeah, and then push into that knee. There you go. And it takes time to lengthen that Achilles too. It may not touch the ground now, and that's okay. I know, right? Lifting your arms this long? Alright, when we do Warrior 3, let's keep moving. You're gonna be a Vinyasa flow dude. Like some people don't like to hold postures a long time. I particularly don't. So we can open to Warrior 2 from here. You guys wanna try? So open your arms and you're gonna face the windows. You guys wanna try birds of paradise?
I like Birds of Paradise.
Just saying. Alright, you wanna do crow from here?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, how do we get to crow from here? Let's go. Rim of the arms down. Bring the feet in. Tuck those knees underneath. So you have to get a picture of us all doing it.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't balance on I'll do it.
Alright, so just tuck those knees in. Just wiggle the toes.
Golly just like the divine. She know she was after my bar. I told her little bitch I can't stay away from the block. That shit on my blood like my pop.
Yeah. There it is.
Did you get it?
No. Hey, this is another posture of your strengths. To try to set your heels down. You gotta go wide. Yeah, right? Most guys can't even go that low. That's actually impressive. It's that low. You're more flexible than you like kind of give yourself credit.
I think my upper body I'm just stiff up top.
So from there, you can practice that hands down, forward fold. So put your hands here, your hands are down. Just start to practice lifting your hips. And trying to come there. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you could go much deeper into a lot of postures, but that's pretty much the basics. I don't know, can you think of anything else fun? Like tree, maybe tree.
Yes, I'm balancing.
Tree is a popular thing. You see pictures of tree everywhere. And dancers everywhere. So tree is either here, it's about hip opening. So a lot of postures have a purpose. Some of them are hip openers, some of them are shoulder stretches, some of them are really for strength and stamina in your muscles. But tree is a hip opener. You can put your foot on the inside of your thigh, just never on the knee. So it has to be here or here. And there's nothing wrong with it being on the inside of your calf. You can still get just as much of a hip opener. And it's such a challenge standing on one leg. I mean, it's really not on your knee.
That boy about to he can go tear his MCL.
He doesn't listen to instructions.
I'm boy messed up.
I think just my foot just big. Right?
And you need to be barefoot.
My foot just big. Like it's just for real covered that whole thigh.
We got lots of guys that come here.
I can't, yeah, we do. I was telling them.
Hey.
He is more flexible.
Well, if I'm in a real, yeah, people ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say.
You didn't do it, yeah. So that's tree.
I did it just with myself. I did it like 4 months.
She just gotta go down there to the wolves.
You could do dancer is